Hello, hello. I'm gonna be talking about peer pressure, my own personal experiences, but also not really about peer pressure. You get the point. Like, it's similar, but not really. For example, when I joined art school as a club in fifth grade, so I was going to my own school, and then there was a separate school for art. I think that's pretty common, right? And I think I liked going there. The dynamic shapes and shadings that was taught did also shape my art style quite a lot. I started using a lot of pens, a lot of pencils. Alas, I quit after a couple months when I expressed boredom and hatred for art history, and all the girls started suggesting we skip it. One class after another, I was no longer present. It feels like I could have become great if I simply attended a couple more years. There weren't only art history studies, but also fine arts and painting. When I told mom about this recently, she said I simply didn't like it and they taught me stuff I didn't want to learn. AKA, I was whining to her, like, no, I don't want to go, I hate this. Now, as an adult, sorry, my drawings lack anatomy and understanding, and as the cost to study higher education or work, it feels like I wasted my youth. Of course, it's not only about art. I went to many clubs and I quit prematurely on almost all of them. But just the fact, like, yes, I should just go and learn anatomy, just go do it. But it feels like it could have been better if I started from that. Because now it just feels weird to actually draw something correctly when I technically have developed an art style, which, don't worry, I am trying to improve. Regarding school itself, at grade 6 or something, we had a mandatory third language. Between German and Russian, I chose Russian. This was like 10 years ago, dude. Mostly because my mom's side spoke it. I put a lot of effort into learning and I learned how to read the alphabet quite quickly. One day, my classmate asked me, should we just cheat? Before this question, she would always sit in the back and I followed, where we spent the whole class talking. I just didn't have friends in that group. I think she was one of the only girls, and I didn't even like I wouldn't consider that we were friends, but I just like I was so desperate, and here I am, like able to read Russian, but I do not understand it. If I just actually locked in, if maybe I told my mom like, oh my god, like I'm not gonna learn Russian anymore, maybe she would like push me towards it because as controversial as Russian is, and I do have my disdain for like Russia and shit. But the fact is that me knowing Russian would have helped so much. And I also knew some other languages, which I either stopped using and I forgot, or like I just didn't fully learn it, even though I had the opportunity. So instead of knowing like four or five languages, I know only two. Like, what the fuck, dude? Am I American? What? But yeah, it's just I wasted an opportunity learning it because of being a blind yes man. Even further back in school, be it third or like similar grade, I was hosting my birthday party. I invited most kids in class, but some girls told me not to invite a specific girl. I already did invite. My dumbass went to the girl and told her I don't have any space left. Space left in the birthday. In contrast to other occurrences from mom did clock me and gave me an earful of how mean this was. Like I said, this is becoming like a went video, but I cannot let go of how being a social carpet stunted my growth. How just not speaking up from a young age made me lose so much skill and opportunity. But I think this like also is the fact that I used to be mean. Maybe not enough, maybe like not to defend myself, but I think I was close to being a bully. But then I randomly was like, oh shit, man, maybe I don't really have any real friends. But then I just mellowed myself out so much because I was so fearful that I was a terrible person that by being so flat I did probably become a bad person just because like I was boring. I don't know how to explain it, but just a nothing person without a spine, with just no opinions. Yes, I'm so fucking salty. You have no idea. I still struggle to defend myself up to this day. But yeah, I can get even more personal. When I had my first relationship, it is like, um, I like often refer to it as not really one, but also it is one because there was never anything physical, fully online, stone me, beat me, I don't care. Well, I had a rough time in life and I started medication for my mental health while we had recently started dating. You can guess. We knew each other for a while. Looking back, I had a very unstable cycle of being loving and then paranoid and hateful. I also was very easily affected by internet trends like, oh my god, your boyfriend should do this, your boyfriend shouldn't do this. And I was like, oh shit, you're so right. Oh my god, I'm gonna blindly believe this and then cause issues because I want this person to be perfect. I want him to do this and that, but me, nah, nah. But yeah, during this, I befriended a girl who I connected deeply with. But my fucking god, she was a bad influence. She got me into smoking, she had some batshit crazy stories, and I felt like I was dragged away from the light. She is not a good person. When I shared issues about my boyfriend, she always told me to drop him or what he was doing wrong. In a way, my wrongful opinions were encouraged, and I broke up with him. In a very cruel, cruel way, which like we're still friends with the guy, but I'm like repenting to this day because oh my god, yes, maybe I was like heavily mentally ill, which was induced by the medicine I started taking and like my family situation. But what I did was still like extremely fucking shitty, and I should really get a job and pay him back for all the games he bought me, like genuinely. But yeah, this peer pressure or the illusion of it follows me into adulthood. It's TMI, but I wish I was a meter kid who kept their beliefs intact, that I actually stayed in clubs, that I actually sat down and learned the language I wanted, and I wasn't this much of a husk now that 2 decades have passed.